All right. Well, I guess we should get into it. Um,
Yeah.
let's introduce ourselves. I suppose I'll kick it off. So I'm Ian Wells. I'm the mentor in this situation. I am a engagement manager and data scientist at McKinsey and Company in Houston, Texas. I have degrees in electrical engineering and management from Rice University, and I've been. This is my second cycle with the Harris School as a mentor. So this is the mentee. Can you please introduce yourself?
Cool. Thanks, Ian. Hi, this is Kunyu. I'm the mentee, and I just graduated from High School of Public Policy with a Master of Science in Computational Analysis and Public Policy degree. I'm currently working for CITIC Securities on their equity derivatives department as an intern, quant intern, and I'll be joining Bank of America in Hong Kong as a quant intern again. And yeah, it's very nice to be here and share, yeah, our thoughts.
So it's been. I have no idea how long it's been. It's been a few months at least. I guess it's been almost the entire academic year that we've been working together.
Yeah,
And
yeah, I guess starting from last June or even July, something like that. Yeah.
a while. Yeah, it has been a while. So I'm just wondering. I remember the email I got from the coordinator of the program, like matching us, and he mentioned that you handpicked me out of all the possible mentors. So I'm really curious. Why me? Why did you? I guess you saw my profile and decided it was what you wanted in a mentor. Maybe like why me? Could you elaborate on that?
Yeah, definitely. So after the first year of our program, basically, I received an email with a list of all mentors that participate in the program this year. And as I go down the list, I pick out like potential matches and my target because I want to enter the industry as a data scientist or a quant. So I want to look for mentors with similar background that can give me career guidance. And I went down the list, and Ian, your profile is, I have to be honest, is the most ideal one. And I was pretty surprised to receive the email because it's actually a lottery. Seems to me like a lottery matching process. And I put a lot of points in you because, you know, priority. And yeah, I got matched up with you. So yeah, I think that's a start.
I think that makes sense. I'm flattered. Well, I think it's worked out. I think it's gone.
Yeah,
Um,
yeah.
yeah. How so I guess over the last year, how how has the program really benefited your journey at Harris?
Yeah, definitely. I think the program itself, so from the first year, we've been attending a lot of events that are led by alumni or industry, like professionals working in the industry, and they talk to students. So the first year is basically getting to know the landscape and know what career options out there. And the second year, we are matched up with a mentor one-on-one basis and have a lot of more in-person interactions, and the mentors are will help you like in a more customized way. And I think it's a good opportunity for me to build relationships with professionals, and also I think it's generally a really good opportunity for me to learn things from Ian, and like to just grow as a as a person who want to enter the industry, to get to know what skills are required and to sharpen up my interview skills, and also to get to work on projects and communicate those details. And yeah, I think those are the benefits. And yeah, I'm actually also curious, like what kind of uh, benefit you got from this program.
Oh yeah. I think I benefited greatly from being your mentor this last year. I think um, I've been a mentor sort of informally before this, and you're my second mentee through this program. And I think I've learned a lot informally, but coming into the program, I think I really was able to focus my, I guess, coaching skills to the extent that I think now I'm much better at figuring out exactly what you need and figuring out how to tailor what I can give you, like, to suit that more accurately, I think. Especially over the course of the program. I know the last couple months we've been doing a lot of career coaching, I guess, job search finding. So being able to do come up with sample interviews, example interviews on the spot has been interesting. I've really enjoyed building my ability to come up with interview questions on the spot. I think I've gotten better at that. I think also just sort of generally being able to counsel a growing data scientist from, like, over the course of an entire year, and sort of like give advice and then watch you take that advice and watch you sort of grow in areas and sort of tailor the things I think we should be focusing on, like, over like month to month. I think like having that experience, like, end to end for the entire year has been really, really beneficial. Like I've learned a lot about, like, coaching people through that, because very often, in my job, you only have maybe 4 to 8 weeks to coach somebody, and hopefully see them improve, and hope that they're fine without you. But I think the extended time frame we've been able to do this has really helped me improve.
Yeah.
Yeah. So yeah, I mean, so we've been doing this for almost a year. I'm straining to remember all the different things we've done, because we've had, like, weekly calls at least for the entire time. And I'm thinking of, like, some of the early ones about, like, what courses you should be taking, what sort of extra stuff you should be looking into, what sort of, like, I know one of my favorite things has been recommending, like, interesting extracurricular data science portfolio projects to hack around on. Find a data set that you're super interested in, and watching you build something on it, and just sort of coaching you through that has been probably my favorite part of the program. I was wondering if you could pick, like, a phase within the last year that you're particularly fond of, or something you think has been the most beneficial. Like, what month was it? What phase was it? Was it early on, last couple weeks? What do you think?
Yeah. I think, so first of all, I really want to highlight the benefits of weekly calls, because Ian has made his effort to set this up for me, and set aside some time and talk to me week to week. And keeping this commitment I think it's a really important factor in our mentor-mentee relationship. And yeah, as you said, we've been through a lot of, like, different phases. And if I have to pick one, I think it's back in, like, the phase where I'm still looking for a job and taking, like, interview questions, but that kind of more like when I started to interview with Facebook, and we start practicing some, like, case interview questions, because like being able to think on those questions from a high level, and just to lay out, like, my thoughts, like how I would approach problems, and listen to your feedback. Those procedures really help me, like, strengthen my interview skills, and also help structure, my approach to those interview questions. And one lesson I learned from that process is you need to first lay out the context, and, like, just let others know, like the interviewer know what you're going to talk about, and then go into details if he is interested in those. So yeah, I think that phase is like a transforming phase for me. Just hopping on the class on Friday and practicing interview questions. And I would also say that the data science projects we did in the past few weeks are really beneficial too. Like getting down to apply my skills and build a pipeline that can be used to other projects. So those two things are my favorite. I guess it's really hard to decide on which one.
Yeah, I think I really enjoyed both those phases as well. I think the interview prep phase was really exciting. I think I enjoyed sort of solving the problems with you, because we were, I mean, to be completely honest, we were making up these things on the spot, right? Like I think I had
Yeah.
like what would an imaginary Facebook interview look like, where they were developing a product around I don't know, anything at all. I guess the specific question we came up with was, and this was in February or March, I guess. How could hypothetically, like hypothetical Facebook build a product to let you know if you'd been in a risky situation with respect to coronavirus?
Totally.
That before it was a very serious thing in the United States. Like how would a product like this look? And like from that prompt, I think you came up with some very interesting ideas, and I think we were able to develop. I think we developed a fairly compelling offering at the end of the 1 hour review. And now I think I'm looking around in the news, and I think I've seen actual people trying to build this thing we were imagining in February. So that was kind of interesting. Hopefully, your interviewer found that to be. I don't know if you talk about it all. Hopefully that experience was helpful.
Yeah, it was really interesting. And I think the questions we discussed about are, quite like the ones I encountered down the line. So I think those sessions are really helpful.
Yeah, and the Kaggle competition you've been in the last couple months has been interesting to watch. I think we've managed to pick up on a couple things that you don't see a lot in academia when it comes to data science. And that's of course like the business question behind the project. Like why am I doing all this math? Why am I building this thing? Like what's the real purpose behind it? It's easy to get down a interesting data science rabbit hole where you just keep analyzing and going and finding a lot of really interesting things. But at the end of the day, why are you doing this? You want to always keep sight of that, especially if you're, working for a company like, I guess, our hypothetical Facebook here. And then building a project where you actually want to leave behind some infrastructure or think about how you can set up a pipeline that could be reused for future projects is, of course, something that comes up in at least my line of work a lot. You never want to just do a one-off and then vanish. It's always about capability building, laying a foundation for the future, right?
Yep. I think the project itself is more, for me, it's more of a practice. And, under supervision, I can lay out my pipeline and ask for feedback. And also I get to know how to improve the interpretability of my models and my algorithms. I've never heard of those before. I guess it's not, it's not academic. It's not the fault for the academia, but instead it's only me starting, pretty early in the machine learning, and I don't know much yet. So I think this process has helped me grow and broaden my view about the process as well.
Makes sense. So what's next for you?
Yeah, I guess so. I'm already graduated. I'm kind of trapped in Chicago, but I'm waiting on my visa to Hong Kong, and so I'll be able to start an internship there with Bank of America. It's a quant internship, and during this waiting, I found another internship with Citi Securities, also a quant internship, helping build software, not softwares, but small tools for their equity derivatives department. So I guess because before I don't have any internship experience in the line of profession I chose, like being a quant researcher or quant analyst. And now I'm starting to acquire those internship experiences. and trying to get to know more about the, the profession, whether I like it and whether I'm a good fit for it. And then I guess I will settle down on the asset class and concentrate on that if I find quant interesting. And yeah, I guess that's my plan.
It sounds like a good plan. I think it all worked out. I think we were able to check all the boxes that we wanted to check.
Yeah. Well, starting from our first conversation, I think you asked me to list what goal I'm trying to reach out of this mentor-mentee relationship. And we've been through like a lot of things we listed, and we've adapted our plans according to the changing situation and change of interest. And yeah, I think it ended up pretty well. And I really thank you for that.
Oh, well, the whole thing has been a joy. I think the adaptability of the goals has been important, because I think it's impossible to keep. I mean, maybe there's some high level goals that persisted through the entire experience, but certainly from month to month, I think the short term goals, we had to remain very adaptable.
Yeah.
Certainly very adaptable the last 4 months. Yeah, I think that's a key, having broad themes for what success looks like for the relationship, without making it like a super transactional, I want XYZ kind of thing. But still keeping an eye on like the ultimate goal of the project, which I think is, one of them is your continuing professional success. And I think we were able to get you off on the right foot there. Yeah. I know for me, nothing is changing super short term. I'm going to continue doing my job from my apartment here in Houston.
Oh, well, I'm actually wondering, like, we've been through a lot of, mock interview process. Have you ever, like, come up with an idea and later you might want to apply it, like, come up with a question you want to ask your actual interviewees, like, in the future?
Maybe not through my job here. It's a little, the structure here is a little bit, it's a little bit more defined in my day job, but certainly, yeah, I've built up. Yeah, everyone I think who's been in industry for a while has like a go-to set of interview questions that they like to ask people, that they find more valuable, and maybe tell you a little bit more about the candidate than just your usual, business school case studies or, personal experience kind of psychology questions. I've definitely built up a few. I know I've asked you, I'm pretty sure most of them over the course of the year.
Yep.
I don't know, maybe let's see if you remember the right answer to this one. Let's see. My favorite, I think, has been, so what do? You're a data scientist, and you've developed a model that you're very confident in, and you're presenting this model to a client, internal or external, who has not a lot of data experience knowledge, but a lot of subject matter expertise. Like maybe they've been an engineer in the field for 30 years, and your model is telling them something extremely counterintuitive versus their experiences in the field. So something that they understand to have been true for their entire 30-year experience, your model is now telling them is not quite as true as they thought. How do you go about convincing somebody? Or maybe that's not what you want to do. How do you go about dealing with the situation where you have a model that very strongly says something that stands in contrast to someone's career worth of experience? How do you negotiate that conversation?
Yeah, well, before I answer this question, I want to kind of say something about because, this question essentially is like your data science, your algorithm, your analysis versus experience from a domain expert. And this is exactly like why I choose this, to study, learn data science and choose to build my career in data sciences, because sometimes your analysis based on rigorous data collection and comprehensive analysis, the correct process can actually kind of weigh in on this decision-making process with even like domain expert. And yeah, here goes the answer, like an attempt. Just.
Oh yeah, we didn't even. I think we all kind of know what the answer kind of feels like. It sounds like I'm interviewing you, but I think it's a spectacular question, and exactly for the reason you said. If the model didn't produce outputs that were surprising or counterintuitive, like what value would the model really have?
Yeah.
We're here to take another. This is what data science is about, really, especially when you think about practical data science. What's it going to tell me that I don't already know in a super objective way, and how can I incorporate that into my processes? It's a good question. I think it exposes a lot. But we won't bore the watchers with the correct answer, not the correct answer.
Yeah, I think Ian also in the past few weeks you talked about your actual project, and you said about an experiment with a client. And I think like in the situations like this, if you prove your data collection is correct, you have the right data, you have the right features for your model, and you present results, maybe it's a good idea to try some small scale experiment and produce some like preliminary results for the client to see if they're changing their behaviors according to your model can actually boost their business. And yeah, I think the implementation part is hard, but convincing in a lot of cases.
Yeah, there's a lot of engineers are very convinced by math, as I suppose that they should be. And one of the biggest jumps you can make in the course of a data science project is taking the model, off your laptop and onto the factory floor. And even if it's a limited experiment, just seeing those real results, putting that in front of the engineer that can have far more impact than all the math, all the SHAP plots, all the charts in the world. Convince them to the point if they've actually are able to see the impact in their factory. That's the proof is in the pudding, I suppose.
Yeah.
Cool. Well, thank you guys so much for joining us today to kind of talk about your relationship and your different career experiences.
Absolutely. Thank you for having us.
Yeah, thanks. Yeah, I guess near the end, I really want to say a big thank you to Ian. And I know it's really hard for you, keep our weekly class on Friday. I mean, setting up time on Friday. And to be honest, every time I pick up the phone, I'm kind of nervous myself too. But I think it's process, and after a few conversations, we're getting familiar with each other. And I think the whole mentor-mentee relationship has been really beneficial to me. And I personally would like to participate in the program as a mentor in my future career as well, just to, go through the same process and see it from a different perspective.
Well, it sounds like a ringing endorsement. I was certainly nervous the first few times I picked up the phone. I'm still a little nervous. Just you as a mentor, you always want to feel like you're actually helping, like actually providing value. And every week it's like, am I sure what I'm doing is helping? Have I prepared enough for this? Is this going to be like a valuable hour for Kunyu? I think hopefully it has been. I don't know.
Definitely has been.
We'll work together to make it valuable for all of us. I've learned a ton. The entire program has been a joy. I would absolutely recommend it. Anyone to look into getting into mentoring. I think this school's program is exceptional, and of course, I want to thank the school for letting me participate.
Yeah, definitely. It's an amazing program for the students as well. Needless to say, the opportunity to get to know the industry, getting to know professionals, and to network and to grow into like grow in the trajectory of your career goal, I think all these factors are really beneficial to current students at Harris.